It's pretty good.
Okay.
Well, we have people viewing, so if you guys can hear us and see us, please let us know. That'd be rad.
Good. There we are. Hey, folks. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is well. Okay. Emery, Nicole, Alex, Hannah, Leanne, MB, Sabria, Andrea, Katrina, Danielle, Natalka. How is everyone? Please, I see we have a couple thumbs up, so I'm assuming that's audio and visual.
Yeah.
That we're good. Fantastic. So we're going to give this a couple minutes here for a few people to tune in before I get started. And we just finished our TikTok Ask Ivy, so we're also waiting for any TikTokers who didn't get answered to switch over here. So while we wait, I do want to announce that my new series of videos called Short Stories, Living in Truth, is airing hopefully tomorrow here on YouTube at Ask Ivy, where I will be breaking down in greater detail some of the mini classes that I do here weekly and my TikToks, where we only get up to a minute to do videos. And people have great questions, but I just don't have the time. The first video, the first episode, is on ear ringing. Okay, what does it mean when the left side is ringing, the right side tinnitus or pressure in the ear, and what does it mean when both are ringing? How is that connected to clairaudience? All that good stuff. These videos are going to be probably 7 minutes or less, and hope you guys enjoy. So check that out here. We also have a free mini class coming up on Thursday, the 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube, called Past Life Trauma. Why is it that sometimes your life seems to be full of triggers, anxiety, obstacles, things that you just can't seem to get over very easily? Or maybe a lot of you feel that you have some streak of bad luck you were born into. Harsh circumstances. Sometimes we see people born into disabilities, health problems, emotional or mental crises, because it's all residual from past life trauma. So we're going to break that down, how to detect it, how to tap in with your Akashic Record Guide, and what to do about it, okay, most importantly. Roots Revival Interfaith. I'm the pastor of Roots Revival Church. We put the Sunday services up here on YouTube so you can hit playlist and watch all past services. Last Sunday, was that yesterday? Yeah. Yesterday, the third part of a 3-part series on shadow work. What is it and how to do it? So check it out. All right, walk-in night tickets are now on sale. First come, first serve. 100% virtual from the comfort of your own home. You can attend our monthly walk-in night psychic fairs, showcasing students and graduates of the Ivy League Psychic Academy. So we have everything: auragraphs, psychic mediumship, tarot, paranormal consultations, pet readings, you name it, Reiki, everything. Okay, we do it. And for $15, you get 2 readings. So that's like 2 readings. You can mix and match a reading and a healing. Tickets are on sale now. Again, first come, first serve. At IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. Do we have a few people tuned in?
We do.
Okay, I want to ask everybody right now to please hit that like button. Give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you like my material. Greatly appreciated. And anyone who wants to leave a donation can do so by hitting that donate. If you would like to become a member for behind-the-scenes extras, extra curriculum, direct spirit messages, your monthly astrology, all kinds of good stuff, your monthly horoscope, I should say, you can hit the join button to become a member. All right. So welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Arawak, and I own a school called the Ivy League Psychic Academy, where I train people internationally in everything ranging from psychic mediumship development to astrology, tarot, numerology, Ask Ivy, where I take your personal questions. Post them in the comment feed now. Paul, my adorable producer, will be taking them as he sees fit. How are you, Paulie?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. And he needs names. So if you're referring to a specific loved one who has passed, first name. If you're asking about your love life, first name, okay? And we do that so that we can get onto your neighbor faster. I do try to answer these in 3 minutes or less, and we can get started whenever you're ready, Paulie.
Okay, yeah. Let's start with Remy.
Okay.
She says, I lost my job this past December.
Okay.
Any feelings as to when I will be employed again? What type of work I will be doing?
Well, I'm sorry about that, first of all. What I feel is really important for you to decide ahead of time what type of work you'll be doing. Right now, your attitude is hit or miss. It's not good for manifestation. It's not good for law of attraction. You're looking at this from a victimhood mentality, and you're taking whatever crumbs fall on the floor. Right now, what you need to do is to decide what jobs you are looking for, and you need to go after those and keep your mind set on getting those. When I look at your life contract, meaning what you came here to do before you came to Earth, what you signed on to do, what I'm feeling within your life contract, and those are the doors that will open, of course, is a lot of work in helping others. So I feel the helping field. I feel you with an ability to teach others or counsel others, sort of a sensitive nature about you to also help people to fix or correct areas in their life or within their business where they're just not doing so well. I feel that you have a constructive way, even though you tend to hold that back. I think that you do have a constructive way of giving, we could say, criticism and assisting others in getting up to the next level. I feel that you have a lot of organizational skills and leadership skills. So we could be talking about things like management. I also feel that within your life contract, there's a lot of business going on here. So you would do well in anything that involves like self-employment, business ownership, running real estate, sales. Even though sales may get old pretty quick, it doesn't mean you're not good at it. It doesn't mean there's not money to be made. So look in the right areas. Those are the doors that will open. But you have got to make up your mind and keep it set instead of just sort of hoping and floating. Okay? Mm-hmm.
We have one here from Infinite Sunrise.
Okay.
What vibe do you get from SF as a possible love interest?
SF is a possible love interest? I feel like this person is unavailable. So I feel disinterested in a lot of things. This is an individual who has a very focused mentality, a mindset of almost like tunnel vision. So some people are entranced with things. And when they're like that, they don't really see anything else. And I think that this person is very focused on what they like. I think that they are also pretty focused on themselves. So this is not an individual who's necessarily looking for anything more. However, this person would happily present as being open to something else and maybe willing to play. I think it could end up being a disappointment and really falling short in the commitment area, though. And so we want to be realistic that if it is something you go ahead and get involved with, you remember that your first impression of this person may have been that they're pretty unavailable, especially emotionally.
Okay, this one is from Carrie.
Okay.
In a meditation, I met a guide that wouldn't answer my questions. Any reason they would do this?
Maybe it wasn't a guide. Discernment. I have a class called Meet Your Guides. And this teaches you to get in touch with your actual guides. So check it out. It's up on the website. A lot of people say that they encounter strange spirits and they have, negative encounters with them, and they think it's not who they thought it was. It is not at all uncommon to hear this happen when people are trying to get in touch with their guides because you're desperately looking to them for help. That's their job. And if you end up talking to the wrong person who doesn't have your best intention, we could see some weirdness like that. Your guides are not going to hold back information. What could happen is that you, if it's not the first thing I mentioned, which is more what I felt, I think that what can happen, and this is for everybody with your guides, is that you don't understand what they're saying because you don't know the language. Check out my psychic mediumship course. Check out the Meet Your Guides class, which is part of the mediumship course curriculum, actually, to learn how to decipher what they're saying to you. You being confused about what a spirit is saying to you doesn't necessarily mean that they rejected you or they're not saying anything. However, this sounds a little odd. Okay, that does not, I did not feel either energetically that was your guide. Even if you've met with this person repeatedly, those aren't always guides that are following you around. So discernment is going to be key here. The other thing that can happen, though, and this is, again, just for everybody, is that if you were already approached by your guide and told to do something 3 times, I always say 3 is the golden rule. They can come to you 3 times and give you instruction. And if you refuse to make that change or follow that instruction, they pull back. Now, they didn't abandon you, but they can't enable, they can't coddle you. And the law of the light is that they can't just keep coming to you and repeating themselves. You've got to take responsibility and have accountability for what is your work to do. So double check and make sure that you've done everything you were already told to do and change in your life. Yeah.
It had like a Ouija board feel to it.
It does have a very negative, and I talk a lot about shapeshifters and how people are confused by a little ghost child in their house who is not a child at all. And another key area is communicating with guides. You know, this is something you definitely want to be careful with. Because it is kind of like a Ouija board situation where you can have a negative energy trying to come into your life and direct you, love you, support you, and they get a hold and it doesn't go so well. So discernment is key.
We have one from Lindsay.
Okay.
Will I be making the jump from my day job to full-time at businesses?
Will you be? This is the 3rd time I said this tonight. If you choose to. So I keep getting a theme with everybody tonight. It's not a what if, like, will the universe give it to me or will it come or is it destiny charted? This is a free will decision. Will it happen if you make it happen? Otherwise, probably not. And so that could mean that where your standards are, the universe won't be meeting those standards. This is a free will zone. So can you do it? I think that you can. Should you do it? I think that within like 3 months, maybe you should do it. What was her deadline? What did she want? She didn't say?
Nope.
I would say that within like 3 months or so, you're going to have a better understanding of what that would mean for you. And what that will mean for you in a sort of logistical way. And I think that you're going to also have some new opportunities open up to you, possibly 2. I wouldn't be shocked if they're related somehow, or if you network and they're kind of networked through somebody or something. But I do feel more of an online presence also. And these opportunities should make you at least feel more secure. But I do think that you're going to have to make that blind leap in faith if you want to do this. I feel that it's part of your soul contract. I feel, like your life contract. And I really don't see you ever working outside of the artistic field and being very happy. Business will come into play later for you in life. And you may find that you want to do this kind of on the side and that more in the forefront. And that's great. That's fine. But for right now, it is all about this for you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one is from Anna Marie.
Okay.
Will my boyfriend, a Christian, get a job soon?
I think so. This looks like construction, and I see him having mild hands. And so I don't know if this is something he's never done or if he has never worked in like an actual manual labor field. Either way, I guess that's not important. But I do feel that he's not like built for it yet, And so it may be revisiting also something that came up for him in the past. So he may have come close to doing it or been in the ballpark of doing it or thought about it. I think that this is a good area for him. And I think that it's really important that he pays attention also to what this work is leading him into. So here's a good way to say this. This isn't the end all be all. This is supposed to be a stepping stone to help him sort of open his mind to what he does feel more passionate about doing. And I think that he does really great, even if he doesn't necessarily think he will, when he's in movement. Motion is good for him. And this not working may have really taken a toll on him. Like his self-esteem, his energy level, he just seems like depressive. Moving is good. Okay, so yes, I think so.
We have one from Lola.
Okay.
Is my eye disability past life related and curable?
Did she say eye? Eye disability? Is it past life? And is it curable? Well, let's take a look at the past life stuff. I do feel, but I feel like I'm going more with the right eye. So I do feel that there could have been something like a wound. I almost feel, frankly, like an arrow, to the eye. And so one of the things, I don't know that this would have been the end of you. I think that you would have learned to live with it. So it's not like you took an arrow to the eye and it killed you. It was more like you put a patch over it and you managed and you just kept going. I feel you actually being tough as nails, and your cup runneth over in such a way where you were able to help a lot of other people. So I am wondering if a lot of that spills over into this life where you feel that you want to help other people with like disabilities, or you have a really caring heart for others who struggle in any way. You also seem to have had a real heart for children or those that lived in poverty. And so again, we would see this spilling over into your work in this life. But the point of this is that there was some unfinished business with, I almost want to say, the way you made peace with it. And you stopped seeing it as a disability, or you stopped being angry about how it happened to you. And that's the part that we need to work on in this life. Do I see it being curable? Well, I can't prescribe or diagnose. And so I don't ever try. I can tell you that I do see it improving, possibly after this lesson is learned. And I wouldn't be shocked to see it pretty much reversed. Interesting.
Very cool. Okay, this one is from Nicole.
Okay.
Do my spirit guides have anything to say about the path I'm on?
General, like life path, all the guides, your whole life, the path you're on. Let me see if anyone's saying anything about that. I feel like what you've done, and this is coming mostly from your joy guide, who is your spiritual development guide. This is the guide who watches over your happiness, but especially your mental and emotional well-being. What your joy guide is showing me is that you recently picked up a hammer, and it's more like a mallet. It's more like a judge would be able to make a call, and that would be the final decision that would set the tone for the outcome of someone's life. And that's what you've done for your own life. And your joy guide's mentioning, I also feel your relationship guide touching in on this a bit, and your work guide right next to that one. So it seems to be affecting everything. Let's say that this area of your life that you made this decision in is affecting all other areas. And it had to do a lot with self-empowerment. It had to do a lot with you having a more independent mentality, and something about the last 7 months, and you evaluating all of that. Not just sitting there and evaluating as much as like it was unfolding, things were happening, and you handled it well. And so I want to say, too, that what your guides are referring to is a celebration where they're happy that you're not just going by your emotions anymore, that you're not going by your feelings. You are instead going by your intuition. And that's really where all the profits are going to be. All the prosperity will come and flow. They show it like a river flowing out of that into a rainbow. Rainbow is pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, hopes and dreams coming true. It's also rainbow after the storm. And I think that this is going to be a whole new way of life for you. There's also talk of a baby. And so I'm not saying you want a baby or you're, necessarily open to that, but it can also mean like a new business venture. And so just be mindful that there are some significant changes coming out of all of this that they do celebrate. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, we have one from, where did I put it? From Bernadette. It says April 9th to 12th is going to be a big weekend for me. Heading out of town. I am giving someone a second chance. It's going to be a big weekend. Big good or big bad? Does Spirit have any help for me?
Well, I don't feel it being either. I feel it being almost like a revisitation of what you already knew. So I think that what you're looking to do here, in all honesty, is to make sure no stone's been left unturned. And I think that to you, this might even be a little bit of a science project where, you know, you're not going in with huge expectations. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket, you know, either. And I think that what happens with this person is that while there are some great realizations being made and there is some progress and effort, there is also quite a lot of work to do. And so I think that if you want to be realistic about how long a process like that can take, then we would say this is a great meeting. I think that if you don't feel that, if you realize there's a lot more work and that, you know, this is going to be a long haul that you're not super happy with, then it could be bad. I don't really feel it being either. Quite frankly, I just think it's a look at reality. It's coming to terms without any rose-colored glasses on. It's you having a great way of saying, you know, here are my expectations and what I need, and seeing this person for what they really are. And that's pretty much it. Situation for what it really is. Yeah. I don't know that this is something you really want. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, no matter what, the beginning, the middle, the end, always. I just feel oddly like it's not something that's really totally clicking with you in a lot of ways, but we'll see. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to thank everybody so far for their donations. You're great. Alex, Lola, Shauna, Nicole, and Remy, Carrie, Anna Marie, and Nicole all said thank you so much for your answers.
You guys are welcome. Thank you so much for the donations.
And Lola said she has been seeing a lot of arrows.
Well, Lola, the girl who had the past life question, tune in to the past life trauma mini class I have coming up here this Thursday at 8 p.m. We're going to break some of this down.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
More?
Yes. Okay, we have one from the healing room.
Okay.
Is Mark my twin flame, and will I get married?
Well, there's no such thing as a twin flame. I do have a class on this, breaking the myth of twin flames, and what are soulmates. Okay, so myth versus truth. That's not a thing. It's never been a thing. People just use it to make some cash. No, but is he a soulmate? Now, soulmates are real. Soulmates could be your dog, though. That could be your sister. That could be your friend. Soulmates are about work contracts. And so when we look at work contracts, we want to see whether or not that's an agreement between the two people that can function in this life in the day-to-day. Okay. Otherwise, the contract is going to be null and void. It really, at some point, will fall apart. So what's his name? Mark?
Mark, yeah.
Mark? It's Mark. All right. So, Mark, what do I feel like this is a soulmate contract? Okay. And will you get married? I think that there is definitely some contractual stuff going on here. I do feel that it's more karmic than soulmate. And what that's going to have to do with is lessons. So when we're talking about karmic contracts, there's often some type of like debt that needs to be paid. But it's going to feel very much like a soulmate connection because it does have past life connection. And there are something called chords. Okay, so I have two classes up on the website, Relationships, Boundaries, and Cord Cutting, and another one called Karma Contracts and Past Lives, where I talk about these chords. Both of those classes would help you have a better understanding of the nature of the relationship. It means that he's here to teach you some things. You're here to teach him some things. And you guys are here to get some stuff done, essentially. I think that it could potentially turn into marriage. I am seeing 2 years and discussion of the possibility of this. So maybe right around that time, we'd be looking at what that means, okay, and where we want to take it.
Okay, we have one from Shauna.
Okay.
I'm wondering if anything big is happening in my near future. Hoping for positive things. I've been working hard on myself.
Okay. Anything big in the near future? What you consider big might be very different than what I consider big. So let's look at what you would consider big. All right. Okay. So I think that you have some growth with real estate. So I feel property, I feel domestic, I feel real estate, also with the possibility of like passive income. So we could say investment. There's more there, but also what looks to me like fixing up. Okay, so restoring. And I think it's leading you into bigger ideas about what else you're supposed to be, doing in your life, including with your resources. And that's great. I also see some boundary setting going on that's going to pay off in a big way. So where your guides mention this is more from your past. You do have a gentleman who comes through here who was quite tall, 6'1". I feel him in a brown suit, but the suit sometimes seems to be changing colors, and he does smoke a pipe. And he watches over you in a paternal way and says that you've been setting a lot of boundaries. So over here to the past, especially the last 3 months, there's talk of setting boundaries with people, setting boundaries with your own self, setting boundaries with how much time and attention, what you do with your mind and your energy, setting boundaries at work, like basically how much energy am I going to be putting into this? I better be getting back what I expect, and goals, and being able to tune a lot of nonsense out. So I think that that's really where the majority of your payoff will be coming. And that, I see as a really big deal. That is about a universal shift. And once we start learning how to properly set boundaries, we start getting good karma back in return. Manifestation can kick in. Law of attraction can kick in. And those are the things where we see a flow and an ease in our future levels up, our relationships, and fulfilling our life contract. So yes, you're now moving in that direction. And that's really the biggest thing to celebrate.
Very cool. Okay, in 3 minutes or less, this is from Andrea. Do you see in my life contract anything I can add to my current job or start working towards to earn more income, or that would be easier on my body?
Okay, what do I see in your life contract? Let's just take a peek at that. So in your life contract, one of the things you're supposed to be doing is counseling other people, giving people advice or helping people. You may also be very skilled at helping maybe even the elderly or those that are dealing with illness or those who don't have the kind of help, almost like an advocate, helping them to organize. So it's not just about, showing or telling people what to do. It's actually sometimes doing it for them or being like an advocate to get them the resources that they need to not just connect the dots, but create a roadmap and take the next step in their life. And so I do feel you being able to do this sort of, I guess you could say, life coaching or counseling for them, but it's more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more tangible and it's more day to day. There's a simplicity to this, but for them, it is extremely complicated. And what people tend to do when things get too complicated is they bail. They just stop. They don't follow through. And so I think you should look for jobs where you can directly help people to get things done in their lives. Kind of reminds me of social work, but I don't want to just color it with that brush. And no heavy lifting. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We have one from Brooke.
Okay.
I guess the question is what? But she said she feels like she's coming into her abilities. Do you see anything for her?
Well, we're all psychic. We're all mediumistic. We are all born this way. So if you're feeling more like you're coming into it, I would say good. We all are all the time. There are increases for sure. I have a free mini class up here on reasons why we increase with our intuition. And what I'm feeling for you is more of a desire more than anything, more of a desire to learn more and feed it. And that's great as long as you are, again, using discernment and you're being careful about how you go about doing that, making sure you're not opening up Pandora's box by feeding it and then not being able to control, what you already have. So there does seem to need to be a bit more maintenance with the mediumistic stuff. And that seems to really be at night. But I would also say if you are experiencing, and I can't prescribe or diagnose, but any level of anxiety and you don't know where it's coming from, this would be a great time for you to figure out anxiety and depression and how that's connected to mediumistic ability. I have a million classes on that here. We also have the psychic mediumship course where I train you in depth, but that's not the kind of thing that you want to start adopting as your own and thinking is you. You have to understand what is mine, what is others. So yes, I see an increase with that. I do also see an increase with the psychic ability, and I think that for you that's more entertaining than anything, and I feel you have a better grip on that. Okay, like it's not overwhelming for you. So that's interesting. Yeah, lots to work with.
We have one from Ms. Kim.
Okay.
I'm thinking about moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. Is that a right choice for me, or should I reside in Buffalo, New York?
Well, I would go. I'm also feeling Texas for you, which is interesting. Because you have something there, but I don't know that you'd want to stay long term. It's almost like I see you like going and getting it, and it's like a video game. You like put it in your pocket and you leave, you know? So I wouldn't be surprised if you kind of feel pulled that way. You might be able to get away with just visiting. And then I was also seeing a mountainous, area. So we could be talking West Coast California, things like this. I think you do well in the mountains. I think you do well where we have a better connection to the land than what you'll have in North Carolina. So that sort of West Coast feel. I also think that your mentality has a lot to do with it. And I think that you may find that there are some limitations in North Carolina compared to like the West Coast, for example. But I think that if you were to go, it would likely be a stepping stone that could last maybe even 5 to 6 years. I see the potential for you to like buy property and then just not get too attached and be willing to, I heard flip. So I don't know if you flip properties. That's not what I was going to say, but possibly flip it, fix it up, flip it, resell it. And I think that there are some things going on there for you in relationships with others, as well as love. And it's okay. I don't think that staying is the best option for you. Okay. And if you could do this within a year, that would be great. Okay. We good? All right, everybody. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Paulie did this to me, and so I thought this was the last one because that was 3 ago, and now he's doing this.
I didn't give you 3.
What are you giving me 3 for? All right, we got 3 more?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I didn't give you 3 earlier.
He's lying to me. All right.
I'm not lying.
What we got?
Looking at my thing here.
Mm-hmm.
This one's from Liz.
Okay.
Will I be able to defend my thesis soon?
It's funny. This really does seem to take a long time. This seems to start and then stop and then start and then stop. And so what I feel is that overall, the general process for this to happen is in motion, but it feels like there could be hindrances that keep resurfacing. And I would predict about 3. This could also be a breaking down of like technology or something COVID related. And I think that the wisest thing for you to do is just to, be fluid and go with it and say it'll happen when it's meant to happen. I do feel that this has a lot of divine timing involved. And so we would see that around 6 out from now. This could be 6 weeks, but I was feeling more like between 6 and 7 months. It starts to move faster for you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one is from Anna.
Okay.
It says, do I have any gifts or blockages?
Well, there is no such thing as gifts. We all have psychic mediumistic ability. It's not a gift. Do you have blockages? I feel that you have a block on mediumship for sure. And I think it's coming from fear. I would not be surprised if you were to remember back to your childhood and find that was very active, maybe a little too paranormal for comfort. haunted houses, or feeling like, monsters in the bed, ghosts in the closet, things like this. I think that you did learn to shut it off. I also think that you would have had a strong connection to spirit. So whether this was like an imaginary friend, or really feeling as though you understood spirit at one time very clearly, had great imagination. Also, even with things like the concept of like fairies or little creatures, that would interact. I think that you understood this. I do feel, though, like you've been creating blocks. And I would almost say that at the root cause, it's because it bothers you at night. So we have between 3 and 5:30 in the morning is the haunting hour. And that's when every medium is super activated. And I think that in order to protect yourself, you've been placing blocks on, especially that time. This may have also disrupted your dreams. Okay, so you may want to check out a class called Dreams up on my website. Paul can put that in the comments here for you guys at ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com, because I feel blocked dreaming. Now, when we talk about blocked dreaming, you did this to yourself because you were going through a stressful time, a traumatic time, but that's where you have your prophecy. And so you do seem to also have a lot of psychic ability, but the prophecy isn't always coming in, or we would say you're not remembering it. Okay, so I would tap in there first.
Okay, we have one from Christine.
Yeah.
Will I keep being alone, or is my person coming soon?
I feel like you need to get out there. So I don't know if you're on any dating sites, but I definitely was feeling like you may have been and then like got off, or you were and then stopped doing anything with it. So I'm just going to say can't tell 100%, but right now it does not feel active to me. And I think that one of the things that you need to do is to, be out there. But I'm also feeling like you're the show, and you need to remember that you're the show. You need to remember that you're a gem and you're a prize to be won. And I think that doing you and focusing on you and your self-development and your spiritual development and bettering your life and being absolutely 100% okay being single and actually loving it is what's actually going to draw this person in. And so it's this sort of dichotomy where you have to, like a cat, act like you don't want it, but you need to genuinely not want it or need it in that way. And I don't think you're there yet. I think that it's also like the steam has gone out of you. And so when your relationship guide keeps showing me these dating sites, it's like a deflated balloon. Like you don't care anymore. You're not on there. You're not even willing to like do it anymore. Like I've just had it. I don't even care. That's really a sign that it's time to just focus on you and enjoy and plan your life as a single. And I think that we could definitely, after you figure this out, see someone important coming in, but it's not going to work in reverse for you. This is a big challenge for you in your life. Some people don't have to necessarily learn this lesson in the same way that you do, but you're going to have to. So you technically control the timeline on this, but I was going to say that this is a 2-year learning period that you're in right now. Okay. Okay. Is that real? Am I actually done? Okay. I'm actually done now, guys, I guess. So as Paul puts up some more fingers for me here. So, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks everybody for donating. And again, if you want to become a member for behind the scenes extras, extra curriculum, direct spirit messages, and also your monthly horoscopes, you can hit that join button. I will see you back here on Thursday for past life trauma. What is it and how do you deal with it? 8 p.m. Eastern, and back here next Monday at 8:30 for Ask Ivy. Thank you, Paul.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Spirit. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.